Welcome to Just Listen Books channel. Immerse yourself in the world of literature as we summarize books and deliver them in audio form. Perfect for your car rides, travels, and daily activities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. Let the journey into the world of books begin. The 80-20 Principle by Richard Koch is a business and self-help book that explores the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. This principle asserts that roughly 80% of outcomes result from 20% of causes. Koch applies this concept to various aspects of life and business, suggesting that understanding and leveraging this disproportion can lead to more effective and efficient outcomes. Chapter 1. In the chapter on universal application of the 80-20 principle by Richard Koch, the author elaborates on how the 80-20 rule can be applied beyond traditional business and economic contexts. This principle, which asserts that approximately 80% of effects come from 20% of causes, is explored in its broader implications for everyday life. 1. Time management. Koch suggests that a small fraction of our time produces the majority of our productive output. By identifying these critical periods and activities, individuals can focus their efforts for maximum efficiency and effectiveness. 2. Personal relationships. In the realm of personal relationships, Koch argues that a majority of our personal satisfaction and meaningful interactions come from a minority of our relationships. By identifying and nurturing these key relationships, individuals can enhance their personal life significantly. 3. Personal productivity. The principle is applied to personal productivity, where Koch posits that a small proportion of our activities contribute to the bulk of our achievements. Recognizing and prioritizing these activities can lead to greater personal success and fulfillment. 4. Lifestyle choices. The 80-20 rule is also extended to lifestyle choices and habits. For instance, a small number of healthy habits or choices can lead to a significant improvement in overall health and well-being. 5. Hobbies and interests. Koch suggests that focusing on the few hobbies or interests that provide the most satisfaction and growth can lead to a more rewarding and balanced life. 6. Self-improvement. In the area of self-improvement, the principle can be used to identify the few key areas that, when improved upon, can lead to significant personal growth. 7. Decision-making. The chapter also discusses how the 80-20 principle can aid in personal decision-making by focusing on the few choices that will have the greatest impact on one's life. This chapter in Koch's book emphasizes the versatility of the 80-20 principle, illustrating its relevance and applicability in various aspects of personal life. The overarching message is that by identifying and focusing on the most impactful elements in different areas of life, individuals can achieve more with less effort, leading to increased productivity, satisfaction, and overall quality of life. Chapter 2. In the chapter titled Focus on the Most Productive Elements of Richard Koch's The 80-20 Principle, the author delves into how concentrating on the most effective 20% of efforts can significantly enhance productivity and success. This chapter is a core part of the book, as it directly addresses the practical application of the 80-20 rule in various contexts. 1. Identifying key contributors. Koch emphasizes the importance of identifying the 20% of efforts or factors that contribute to 80% of the results. This could be in sales, where 20% of customers might bring 80% of the revenue. In a work context, where 20% of activities lead to 80% of accomplishments, or even in personal productivity. 2. Resource allocation. The chapter suggests reallocating resources, time, money, energy, to these key areas. For businesses, this might mean focusing more on profitable product lines or key customers. For individuals, it means investing more time and energy in the most rewarding activities. 3. Eliminating or reducing less productive activities. Just as important as focusing on the productive, 20% is minimizing time and resources spent on the less productive 80%. This could mean delegating, outsourcing, or even stopping certain activities. 4. Practical examples and case studies. Koch provides various examples and case studies from businesses and personal scenarios to illustrate how focusing on the most productive elements can lead to disproportionate success. 5. Efficiency versus effectiveness. The chapter differentiates between doing things right, efficiency, and doing the right things, effectiveness. The 80-20 principle is more about effectiveness, focusing on what truly matters. 6. Prioritization and decision-making. Koch offers insights on how to prioritize tasks and decisions based on their potential impact, advocating for a focus on high-impact activities. 7. Continuous assessment and adaptation. The principle is not a one-time application, but requires continuous assessment and adaptation. What constitutes the productive 20% can change over time, and ongoing evaluation is necessary. 8. Strategic thinking. The chapter encourages a strategic approach to both business and personal life, always seeking to maximize the return on investment of effort and resources. By concentrating on the most productive elements, Koch argues that individuals and businesses can not only increase their productivity and success, but also find greater satisfaction and balance in their activities. This chapter provides the foundational strategy of the 80-20 principle, encouraging a shift in focus from quantity to quality of effort. Chapter 3. In the chapter Work Smarter, Not Harder, from Richard Koch's The 80-20 Principle, the focus is on redefining the concept of hard work. Koch challenges the traditional work ethic that equates long hours and hard work with success. Instead, he proposes that intelligent, focused efforts aligned with the 80-20 principle can lead to more significant results with less effort. 1. Redefining hard work. Koch suggests that the conventional notion of hard work, working long hours and being busy, is often not the most effective way to achieve success. He argues that working smart is more important than working hard. 2. Leveraging the 80-20 rule. The chapter elaborates on using the 80-20 rule to identify which 20% of efforts are yielding 80% of the results. By focusing on these efforts, one can achieve more by doing less. 3. Quality over quantity. The emphasis is on the quality of work rather than the quantity. It's about being strategic in choosing what to work on and how to work on it. 4. Prioritization and focus. Koch advises on prioritizing tasks based on their impact and focusing on tasks that yield the most significant results. This approach often involves saying no to less important tasks. 5. Efficiency in decision-making. The principle is also applied to decision-making, suggesting that most beneficial decisions come from a small subset of all the decisions made. 6. Delegation and outsourcing. For tasks that are not within the productive 20%, Koch recommends delegation or outsourcing, allowing individuals and businesses to focus on their strengths and most impactful activities. 7. Time management. The chapter discusses effective time management strategies, emphasizing spending time on high-impact activities rather than just being busy. 8. Case studies and examples. Koch provides real-life examples and case studies to illustrate how individuals and businesses have achieved more by working smarter, not harder. 9. Mindset shift. A significant part of the chapter is dedicated to changing the mindset from a traditional work ethic to a more result-oriented approach. It's about changing how we view work and success. This chapter essentially advocates for a strategic, thoughtful approach to work, where the focus is on producing maximum results with minimal but highly focused effort. It's a call to reassess not just how much we work, but more importantly, how well we work. Chapter 4. In the time management chapter of the 80-20 principle by Richard Koch, The author applies the 80-20 rule to the concept of managing time effectively. Koch proposes that a small portion of the time we spend on tasks is often responsible for the majority of our productivity and success. The chapter emphasizes the importance of identifying and focusing on these crucial tasks for better time management and overall efficiency. 1. Identifying high-impact tasks. Koch advises identifying the 20% of tasks that contribute to 80% of one's productivity. These tasks are typically high impact and high value, and prioritizing them can lead to significant achievements. 2. Minimizing less important activities. Conversely, the chapter suggests minimizing time spent on the less productive 80% of activities. These often include routine, low-impact tasks that don't significantly contribute to overall goals. 3. Effective prioritization. Koch stresses the importance of prioritizing tasks based on their impact rather than their urgency. He suggests focusing on activities that have long-term benefits. 4. Strategic delegation. For tasks that are not part of the critical 20%, Koch recommends delegation. By outsourcing or delegating less impactful tasks, one can free up more time for high-value activities. 5. Time analysis. The chapter encourages a thorough analysis of how one's time is spent, advocating for a critical look at daily activities to identify which ones truly matter. 6. Balancing quality and quantity. Koch highlights the balance between the quality of time spent on tasks and the quantity of tasks accomplished. He argues that more time does not always equate to better results. 7. Setting realistic goals. Setting achievable, focused goals based on the most productive tasks is another key point. This involves understanding one's capacity and avoiding overcommitment. 8. Avoiding time wasters. The chapter discusses identifying and avoiding time-wasting activities or habits that do not contribute to one's primary objectives. 9. Leveraging peak productivity. Times. Koch also touches on the idea of working during one's peak productivity periods, suggesting that understanding and utilizing these times can greatly enhance efficiency. Through this chapter, Koch aims to transform traditional time management strategies by applying the 80-20 rule, advocating for a more focused, strategic approach to how we allocate our time. The goal is to achieve more by working less, but more importantly, by working on the right things. Chapter 5. In the chapter titled Decision-Making and Analysis from Richard Koch's The 80-20 Principle, the focus is on applying the 80-20 rule to enhance decision-making processes, particularly in business contexts. This principle is used to analyze various aspects of business operations, identify key areas of profitability and productivity, and inform strategic decisions. 1. Business analysis. Using 80-20. Koch illustrates how businesses can apply the 80-20 rule to analyze different operations, such as sales, customer relationships, and product lines. The idea is to identify which 20% of these areas contribute to 80% of the profits or productivity. 2. Identifying profitable products or services. A significant point is identifying the most profitable products or services. Businesses often find that a small percentage of their offerings bring in the majority of their revenue. 3. Focusing on key customers. Similarly, the chapter discusses how applying the 80-20 rule can reveal that a small portion of customers are responsible for a large percentage of sales. Understanding and catering to these key customers can lead to more effective marketing and customer service strategies. 4. Strategic decision-making. Koch emphasizes using the 80-20 principle for making informed and strategic business decisions. This involves focusing on areas that yield the most results and cutting down on less productive activities. 5. Resource allocation. The principle guides how to allocate resources, like time, capital, and labor, more efficiently by investing more in those areas that offer the highest returns. 6. Streamlining operations. The 80-20 rule can be used to streamline operations by eliminating or reducing less effective products, services, or processes. 7. Prioritizing tasks and goals. In the context of management and leadership, the chapter discusses how to prioritize tasks and set goals based on the 80-20 analysis to ensure that efforts are directed towards the most impactful areas. 8. Problem solving. The principle is also applied in problem solving, where the focus is on addressing the vital few problems that could lead to major improvements. 9. Case studies and real-world examples. Throughout the chapter, Koch provides case studies and real-world examples to demonstrate how the 80-20 principle has been effectively applied in various business scenarios for decision-making and analysis. This chapter essentially guides readers on how to apply the 80-20 rule to make more informed and effective decisions in business. By concentrating on the most impactful factors, businesses can optimize their operations, increase profitability, and make strategic decisions that align with their core objectives and strengths. Chapter 6. In the chapter titled Happiness and Personal Fulfillment from Richard Koch's The 80-20 Principle, the author extends the application of the 80-20 rule to personal life, emphasizing the pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. Koch argues that by identifying and focusing on the 20% of activities and relationships that provide the most joy and satisfaction, individuals can greatly enhance their overall happiness and sense of fulfillment. 1. Identifying fulfilling activities. Koch encourages readers to analyze their activities to identify the 20% that bring them the most happiness. These could be hobbies, passions, or certain work tasks that provide a sense of accomplishment and joy. 2. Quality of relationships. The chapter also applies the 80-20 rule to personal relationships, suggesting that a small proportion of our relationships contribute to the majority of our emotional well-being. Koch advises focusing on nurturing these meaningful relationships. 3. Balancing life. Koch discusses the importance of balancing different aspects of life, work, family, hobbies, and social life, and prioritizing those that contribute most significantly to personal happiness. 4. Minimizing less rewarding activities. Just as in other areas, the 80-20 principle suggests reducing time and effort spent on activities and relationships that do not contribute significantly to personal well-being. 5. Setting personal goals. The chapter underscores the importance of setting goals aligned with what truly makes one happy and fulfilled, rather than following societal expectations or external pressures. 6. Self-reflection and awareness. Koch emphasizes the need for self-reflection to understand what truly brings joy and fulfillment, as this can vary greatly from person to person. 7. Work-life balance. The idea of work-life balance is explored, with the suggestion that focusing on the most fulfilling aspects of both can lead to a more satisfying life overall. 8. Personal growth. There is a focus on personal growth, with the 80-20 rule used as a tool to identify areas of life that offer the most potential for growth and development. 9. Practical strategies. The chapter provides practical strategies and exercises to help readers apply the 80-20 principle in their pursuit of happiness and fulfillment. Through this chapter, Koch offers a framework for readers to evaluate and enhance their personal lives. By applying the 80-20 rule, he suggests that individuals can find greater happiness and fulfillment, not by doing more, but by focusing on what is truly important and rewarding in their lives. Chapter 7. In the chapter titled Resource Allocation, from Richard Koch's book The 80-20 Principle, the focus is on optimizing the distribution of resources in a business setting based on the 80-20 rule. This principle asserts that a disproportionate amount of results often come from a relatively small fraction of inputs. Koch suggests that by strategically allocating resources to the most productive areas, businesses can achieve greater efficiency and success. Key points from this chapter include: 1. Identifying high-yield areas. The first step, according to Koch, is to identify which areas of the business are yielding the most significant results. This could involve analyzing which products, services, or departments are generating the most revenue or profit. 2. Disproportionate investment in key areas. Once these high-yield areas are identified, Koch advises allocating resources, like capital, personnel, and time, disproportionately to these areas. This contrasts with the traditional approach of evenly distributing resources. 3. Reducing investment in low-performing areas. Concurrently, the chapter suggests reducing the allocation of resources to areas that are less productive. This might involve scaling down or eliminating certain projects, products, or roles. 4. Dynamic resource allocation. Koch emphasizes the need for resource allocation to be dynamic and responsive to changes. As the business environment and internal performance metrics change, so should the allocation of resources. 5. Leveraging strengths. The 80-20 principle is used to suggest that businesses should focus on and leverage their strengths rather than trying to shore up their weaknesses. 6. Strategic decision-making. Resource allocation should be guided by strategic decision-making, aligning with the overall goals and vision of the business. 7. Efficiency and effectiveness. The chapter discusses balancing efficiency, doing things right, with effectiveness, doing the right things, advocating for a focus on areas that maximize overall effectiveness. 8. Case studies and examples. Throughout the chapter, Koch provides case studies and examples from various businesses to illustrate how effective resource allocation, according to the 80-20 principle, has led to increased efficiency and success. 9. Risk management. In allocating resources based on the 80-20 principle, Koch also touches on the importance of risk management. Concentrating resources can lead to higher rewards, but it can also increase risk, so it's crucial to balance focus with diversification. 10. Innovation and growth. The chapter also discusses how resource allocation according to the 80-20 rule can spur innovation and growth. By focusing resources on the most productive and promising areas, businesses can foster innovation and explore new growth opportunities. 11. Measuring and analyzing performance. Koch highlights the importance of continuously measuring and analyzing the performance of various business sectors to inform ongoing resource allocation decisions. Through this chapter, Koch aims to provide a practical guide for businesses to optimize their use of resources. By applying the 80-20 rule, he suggests that businesses can focus their efforts and investments on the areas that will yield the highest returns, leading to greater overall efficiency, profitability, and growth. Chapter 8. In the chapter Goal Setting and Achievement from Richard Koch's The 80-20 Principle, the focus is on applying the 80-20 rule to set and achieve goals more effectively. Koch explores how prioritizing goals based on the 80-20 rule can lead to greater effectiveness in both personal and professional contexts. Key insights from this chapter include: 1. Identifying high-impact goals. Koch suggests using the 80-20 rule to identify which goals will have the most significant impact. This involves analyzing past successes and failures to determine which 20% of goals could potentially lead to 80% of the desired outcomes. 2. Prioritizing effectively. Once high-impact goals are identified, the next step is prioritizing them. Koch advises focusing on fewer, more significant goals rather than spreading efforts thinly across many objectives. 3. Allocating resources. Wisely. Just as with other applications of the 80-20 rule, effective resource allocation is crucial. This means dedicating time, energy, and resources primarily to those goals that will yield the most substantial results. 4. Simplifying goals. Koch emphasizes the importance of simplicity in goal setting. By making goals clear and focused, they become more achievable. 5. Action-oriented approach. The chapter underscores the necessity of an action-oriented approach towards goals. It's not just about setting goals, but actively working towards them, focusing on the critical actions that lead to success. 6. Measuring progress. Regularly measuring progress towards these goals is crucial. This helps in understanding if the efforts are leading to the desired 80% of outcomes and allows for course corrections as needed. 7. Balancing short-term and long-term goals. Koch discusses the balance between achieving short-term objectives and working towards long-term aspirations. He suggests applying the 80-20 rule to both, ensuring a blend of immediate results and long-term success. 8. Overcoming obstacles. The chapter also covers strategies for overcoming obstacles that might hinder goal achievement, using the 80-20 rule to focus on solving key problems. 9. Psychological aspects. Koch touches upon the psychological aspects of goal setting, such as motivation, belief in one's abilities, and the impact of goal achievement on overall well-being. 10. Case studies and examples. Throughout the chapter, Koch provides various examples and case studies where the 80-20 rule has been successfully applied in goal setting and achievement. This chapter in Koch's book is intended to guide readers in setting and achieving their goals more effectively by focusing on the most impactful objectives. By applying the 80-20 rule, individuals and businesses can streamline their efforts, focus on what truly matters, and achieve more significant results. Koch's book is a guide for maximizing efficiency and effectiveness in various aspects of life by understanding and applying the 80-20 principle. It encourages readers to rethink traditional notions of balance and effort, focusing instead on the power of leveraging the most productive elements in any situation. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Your support means the world to us. Click subscribe and hit the bell to be the first to enjoy our upcoming audiobooks. Together, let's continue this amazing journey through stories and tales.